Hey guys, we're here again today. Welcome back to my channel.
Hello.
Can I finish my intro? I know we have a first video, a how we met video, and a starting our lives video. I hope you've watched that because this is a continuation. Today we are going to be talking about the first 5 years in marriage, right? And yeah, by the way, if you have watched my video and you haven't subscribed, you're the first person I'm talking to. But for people who haven't, please watch. You can follow me on YouTube. There's Abby1, all right, and then watch my videos. The link to my Instagram pages here, my Snapchat and my TikTok pages, they're displayed below. So please follow me, subscribe, share, comment, and don't forget we are going to be doing our Q&A at the end of this series. And I want your questions. Please send them in. Send your comments. Thanks for the encouragement for those who have been doing that. I really do appreciate it. So yeah, let's get into today's video. All right. So we're going to be talking about the first 5 years in marriage. It's all been very lovey-dovey, sweet talk, the first 2 videos, but yeah, we're getting down, we're getting into the main business now. First 5 years of marriage. Share your thoughts, Mr. Ademola.
Okay. So I think the last video we ended up talking about you being pregnant, yeah? Yeah. But we didn't talk about. So the baby now came. Ademola. Real life now dawned on us. Yes. So we're now parents. We had to be very responsible. Then the friction started. It just felt like we had different views about marriage. She has this Hollywood kind of daddy, mommy, child in her head. And I wasn't meeting up to expectations at all.
Let me tell you what this nigga was always doing. It was so funny. The man started getting better financially. Guess what he was using his money for? Parties.
No, I wasn't doing for parties.
You were traveling for weddings.
Why? Because most of my friends were single, and that was the time they were getting married. So I was traveling for weddings a lot. I was
That's spray money.
I was going to, because I had small change.
Buy tickets.
So that was when I remember that I can also be going to the club, go to the club, or come back by 3 a.m. My wife would be sleeping with this, Damola was just a few months old. Then my addiction to clothes now came back. You remember that? And shoes. So remember that I used to have that craving for TM shirts. Then I started buying clothes. Expensive shirts,
clothes, shoes, gold, phones.
No, I wasn't crazy about phones then. I wasn't crazy about which phones. I wasn't crazy about phones then.
I'm sure.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Okay, gold.
But shoes, basically with shoes and shirts and jewelry. And then my wife I'll just bring boxes home. I won't buy anything for her. I didn't know I was doing anything wrong. I just come home. She'd be like, "Oh, you went shopping again." I'm like, "Do you like them?" Oh. And she wasn't the type that used to talk. So I thought everything was fine. I didn't know that I was breaking my mom.
I really wasn't talking. I wasn't saying anything. I'm the kind of person that when you come and even show me the things you got, I'll be like, "Oh, it's nice.
It's nice. I like that.
Fine. I like it. This one suits you. This color is fine."
Thank God for the wife I'm married. We would have been here by now. That's the truth. Because I made a lot of mistakes. Can't be talking about how sweet everything is and deceiving people and making people feel that we're just two imperfect people that came together with the commitment that this has to work. So even when we had
friction, it was like, you know what? I don't care what this is.
Yeah, just has to work. It just has to work, and I'm like, oh, I know where I'm coming from. I know my background, and I don't want my home to be what I experienced when I was growing up. So that was it. And thank God she was very patient, and she is still very patient. A lot of times I know I mess things up. Sometimes I just get angry, like, oh, I beg, I'm a guy now, come on, I want to be the man. No, you don't have to force yourself to be the man. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to say it, it's your actions. So thank you for being very patient. Oh. So the first, second, third year was rough. Not financially, because then we're comfortable expecting our second child. And she was like, never, she will not give birth in this house, that she wanted a 3-bedroom. And I was like, okay, let's look for a bigger 2-bedroom that will be very big, have a dining space. And then my wife said, no, it has to be a 3-bedroom. And I was like, come on, we won't be paying 1 million for
a landlord. This is what he always said. I won't give that to a landlord.
I won't work for a landlord.
I won't work for a landlord. I think that's one thing I really appreciate about you. You're the very reasonable one when it comes to finances. I'm very the money is there, spend it. I want to, please, I'm a baby girl for life. But he's very practical. Demola is thinking 5 years after.
I'm even thinking 10 years.
10 years after.
I think my thinking is 10 years.
He plans.
Yeah, I need to.
He's a mega planner.
So you now agree that, okay, fine.
No. Shall I tell you how I agreed?
How?
You forgot him. You called Sister Ife.
Was it that for Mom?
He called his older sister, because at that time I was like, I'm not moving to a bigger. I don't care if it's the biggest 2-bedroom in the whole of Abuja. I'm not interested. I want a 3-bedroom. So he spoke to his sister, and then she called me. She was like, Bisola, okay, go and see the house first.
Yeah.
Go and look at it. If you don't like it, we'll work out something else. Funny enough, I got to the house. Ablaze was spacious.
Very big. Very massive.
Like, massive.
The living room was
too big.
It was like our old 2-bedroom we're coming from.
Yes, where we're coming from. Like the living room, the kitchen, and maybe 1 bedroom put together was just my living room here. It was massive. Like, even when we had put the chairs, we had. I said, see play area.
Yeah, we still had like a small place that we could now put the maid, so we could have a place for the maid to sleep. Then we could have a new room for maybe when Mom is coming up for the children.
Because my baby was still sleeping with us in the room. I just made up my mind that my kids would sleep in our room till when I think they're old enough to stay alone.
So now we now have to spend money again to. Now we didn't have a dining.
Yeah, we bought a dining,
we had to buy a fridge, a bigger TV.
Yeah. We made everything
really nice. Then we now our second son came. I did all our me.
And I think that's where the real issues began. Demola had issues about my bonding with the kids. I was so focused on my children. Like, it was so bad. I didn't work. I chose not to work till I thought that they were, fully grown and ready to, it was okay for me to now leave them with a maid. So I didn't work. I was just doing business. I'll sell this and that. I really didn't mind. I was like, whatever I can sell is fine, but I'm not going to do something that would take me away from my kids. And he had a problem with that. We had sexual issues. Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I think that was the biggest.
I think we did that.
That was the biggest rift.
Well, it wasn't. It was a silent rift, though.
It was a silent rift.
It was a silent.
Nobody was talking.
Yeah,
we just knew that we're distant.
Yeah, we're just
distant. We're living like flatmates. Yeah, literally. So it was. You come back from work. Hi, welcome. What you want to eat? Or this is what I want to eat. I serve his food. I go and do my own thing. Or I'm focusing on assignments.
And those days too, I think I was always going out after work.
I was always going out after work. It got to a point where, do you? whatever time you want to come is fine. Just don't stress me.
And my own thinking then was that everybody's
She's okay.
eating, everybody's fine.
Yeah, as long as I'm providing, as long as I'm providing for my family, everything is good.
So I think it now got to a point. I don't know what happened. I think we went to church. I think that was our 4th year marriage or something. We went to church, and PB now talked about I think marriage. Talked extensively about marriage. Thank God for our parents and the Lord.
Pastor Biodun
and Pastor Modele, we appreciate you. So, and that day we were both in church, and something just hits me. We didn't talk about it. She didn't talk about it. We just go home and just realized that
we're doing nonsense.
We'll be mad. If you don't have people that have been talking to us, we don't now talk to ourselves. And I think now
we had a conversation.
So even though we're moving from being okay to being very comfortable, we stopped talking about our vision. We stopped talking about what we wanted. We're just living like that. And next thing, it just came, and she was like, "We're not going to use 2 years in this house." And I was like, "Where's that coming from?" She's like, "We need to get it booked." And I was like, "Ooh."
At this time, we were spending money on trips.
Yeah. We wanted to travel.
We wanted to spend money.
We wanted to change our cars. That's it. I said it that I don't want to use my cars for more than a year or max 2 years. And that happened. Our own, I think we changed our own after
a few years.
So we're just living like auto cruise. And she was like,
no discussion. There was nothing. No, let me tell you what inspired that. If you remember, in this period before we listened to the message in church, Momsi had come.
Yeah.
Momsi had come, and you know she was always talking about getting a property, and she'd be like, you know what, in this Abuja, you did not come with 2 heads. You people will own a property. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah. And I felt
I really listened, and then if you remember, one day you go back from work. And let me tell you how quiet this fight was. If you stay in our house, you won't know. You won't know we were not talking because in front of people we're talking, but we're not connecting. In front of people, we'll act like everything is fine. If you just leave both of us at home, we're just silent.
Yeah, everybody's.
So that day, I think I had it up to here. So I just told Momsi, do you know that myself and Demola are fighting? She was like, Iro. I said, I'm serious, we're not talking. Iro. So when you came, she was like, Mbo, Enja. Like, are you serious? You guys are fighting.
I think I asked her that.
Are we fighting? And I looked at her like, are we fighting? Really, that's the question. Are we fighting? And then we were quiet again, and then we now went to church. Now, as soon as we got back from church, it was like, you know what, you should have a vision, you should have a project you guys are focusing on. So I just keyed into what Momsi said, like, you know what, let's get this project going. We need to get a property. Only if I knew that discussion was going to lead to more fights and more rifts. Because yes, you know, when you start a project, it's how to finish that's on your mind. And at that time, obviously, building a house is not a small thing now. Getting the land, they were like him and said that if we buy this land, nothing is going to remain. At that time, thank God, I'd gotten a job this time around. Thank God I had the monthly income. Now, all of Demola's finances were going into this project. I was stressed. That's when I realized that, oh my God, the financial burden on a man is not funny, and I wasn't having it. Like, what did I have to pay for before? Nothing. I wasn't paying for anything. So now, I was thinking of, okay, then we got a driver for the kids.
I'll take the kids to school.
You take the kids to school. We're going to pay driver. We're going to buy like food. And all he said he was going to do was like the major bills. So he was paying the fees, and he paid the driver. Every other thing was on me. Gosh, I was frustrated.
No, but I was still dropping the monthly.
Yeah, you were jumping. But it wasn't obviously. It wasn't enough.
It could have been enough. But initially, you were the one that said it.
Yes, I said I was going to do it, but I didn't realize.
This
was
that
going to
particular
cost
time you went to get the land. I was still dragging.
And you said as soon as you get the land.
Yeah.
No money. I said buy it.
Because I felt that was almost everything we had. We had saved.
Yes.
So by the time we saw the land we wanted to buy, that was going to take a chunk load of. And now I think we had to pay rent to them.
Yeah, we had to pay rent that period.
So that's what
and so it was a lot.
It was a lot. When we started, we just said let's just buy the land.
And then we'll see how it goes. Yeah.
And we'll see how it goes. But something about me is that I don't know how to do that. The minute I start something,
it doesn't have to stop.
And then I had workers that have been working for me for years, so I could trust them. So even when they start the work and the funds is not readily available,
they continue.
So I'm sure that at least I had to work extra hard. I had to all these sereners that I used to do, thinking of shed, thinking of gifts for my wife, all this.
But buying stopped.
It disappeared. It didn't even stop. I didn't have cravings for it.
Yeah.
And sometimes my wife would go to the project site and she'd be like, "Where did you get money from?"
Yes. Let me tell you what he was doing. Another thing, he wasn't carrying me along. I was so upset.
No, but what?
Because let me tell you, at that time we're coming from a place where we're not talking, so a lot of decisions was just him.
But what I learned there was it was hard, but I think I learned it. It was very hard for me to learn it, but I think I learned it. A woman doesn't care about what you do. She cares about how you do it. She just wants to know, okay, how much do we have? Okay, how much do we have? Is it 1 million? Is it 100,000? So that
he wasn't talking to me.
I wasn't talking about my finances. She just wants to know. Oh,
this is that we bought a land and there was no shishi. I was expecting, okay, you got 2 million naira today. This and this is what we are going to do. He won't tell me. I'll just get that and say, you bought cement. Where did you get money from? I won't lie, at some point I was like, hey Father, I hope this boy is not dipping his hand into things he's not supposed to be doing. No. Where's all this money coming from? How come this project is so fast? I was so worried. Even if I know that, okay, yes, it's good because the financial body on me will reduce at some point, but I was worried because I was like, how is he getting this thing done? Hope he's getting it done the right way because it was fast. We finished that project in 9 months.
8 months. But we had what she still doesn't understand that time was I could go to like the person who bought all the electricals from.
Yeah.
It was our neighbor. It was a lot of money, and he just told me pay whenever you want to pay.
But he wasn't telling me all of this.
The person,
so in my head, I'm thinking you're paying all of this.
No, you knew.
Was later.
Okay, the person that sold plumbing. Okay,
you
all
told
the plumbing.
Me later.
All the plumbing
was
materials.
Later you told me.
And the marble.
Yeah.
The marble we did. And she said she wanted that marble. It has to be that marble. It has to be white. And the figure was alarming. The man now said, if this is what your wife wants, why not? Let's give it to her. And it was like, it's going to spread the payments for me. So all the things I was doing, I wasn't dropping the money.
But I didn't know now.
Even till after we moved in. I think we moved in a day before lockdown.
Before lockdown.
That was March 2020.
Yeah.
I was still okay. So for that, from March to like May, oh God, thank God for my wife. I didn't have any savings. She 1 naira. We didn't have as a family, but she had money, so she could pay for lights. It was lockdown, paying for lights and paying for all the small things. I was just acting like the wife. I would not even say anything. I was just because I didn't go out. There was no money. So and I was still owing money. I was owing the cement people, the interlocking we did interlocking the week before we moved in. I hadn't paid. We're owing for plumbing. We're owing for everything. But thank God, lockdown.
It was difficult.
No, but it wasn't difficult. Between that March and me, I could say was the sweetest we had in our home.
Yeah.
We were playing a lot.
People were like, oh, all our videos, like, oh, in my mind, I'm like,
So it
only if
wasn't-
these people knew where we are coming from.
We were down financially, but the
We were
love, we were
so happy.
we were so good.
Now we're in the house. Oh yeah, we cannot run out.
Yeah, so we were so
We cannot
good.
run away. It was, oh yeah, we are here now.
So I think
What
we
should
now
we do
built,
that,
we built on the friendship.
on the friend- yeah.
Built on the friendship again. I think then we'll now move into. I think then we've already moved into our 6th year marriage.
We clocked 6 years in
We
the
clocked
house.
6 years in the house and all that. So, but it was good. We thank God. We thank God.
It was rough, but we learned a lot. We learned a lot about communication, and this is what I will say. Right, I don't think people are really patient these days anymore to wait things out, or work on things. The minute they say, oh, 1 year we've not been talking, they are done. This was how many years we're not talking. Like, you literally would not know. It was so bad. Sometimes I'll get to work, I'll cry. I just want to cry it out. And there was a time I had a book. When he pisses me off, I'll just write. I'll write till my hands ache. Why am I writing? So I write it to God. This is what he did. He cannot even say sorry. The moment my hands ache, I just realized that I poured everything out and I was fine. But what wasn't I doing? I wasn't talking to him. I think communication was what we lacked. Or we're not communicating the right way. Anytime I feel, okay, it's time for us to talk, where he was very defensive, or I was always, it was a lot. To be honest, it was a lot. Times we tried to talk, it would just end up, us arguing more.
Truly, we didn't have issues. We
What
just.
We
Okay,
weren't communicating.
Good.
And
So-
we weren't communicating right.
Yeah, we weren't communicating right and all that. And I just feel that there's some things that I was doing at that particular time. If she was like a little bit mature, won't cause the kind of
A rift we
Yeah,
had.
so I just had to be very, very careful. And then again, to avoid us arguing a lot, I started saying, I'm sorry. Which hurt her more. She wanted to communicate, she wanted to talk, and I wasn't that kind of person. Bisola, I'm sorry. Is that okay? Bye-bye.
Wahala.
Do you get
What are you sorry about?
What are you sorry about? Why are you sorry?
Why are you sorry?
Can you tell me what you did and why you're sorry? At least if you can tell me what you did, if you
Then
can
I would understand that you know
But I don't want
why
to.
I'm
I didn't want to
I
sit
don't-
down.
You didn't want to
and
talk. It
start
was just
speaking English.
sorry is okay. No,
and-
sorry is not okay. I say that to the kids. They say, I'm sorry, mommy. I say, what for?
What for? What? So
I want to know that we are both on the same page. We understand the situation. Okay, if you're sorry, then you know not to repeat
what's
that
your
mistake, right?
yes.
Because I understand that when you say, okay, I am sorry for not telling you about finances, you now know next time that you have to be open with me about what you have. But when you say I'm sorry just to keep me quiet, it means you will still hold your finances from me another time. So I think the openness, I wanted something really open. Like, if you say we don't have money, tell me.
Okay, now
If you say
I had one
tell
issue
me.
too. Okay, because of
Pride.
where I was coming from. It's not pride. Where I was coming from, and how I just want to make sure everything is fine for the future. I didn't want my wife to have a clue of what we actually have.
So I'll
Do you
not be
understand?
collecting much.
So I just because I'm a person that and people don't understand that. People just think, oh, Demola is flamboyant. I'm like, before I spend 1 naira, I have 100 naira somewhere that I'm not touching. I just believe that if my wife knows how much we have, this monthly allowance that I'm giving her, she'll be like, oh no, we should have more. Oh no, let's travel. So I didn't want. But I think I later on I think I now understand that if by the time you open up to her, by the time she knows the vision of the family, she'll be the one to keep the money and save it for us. I think that's what I believe now. That when a woman knows, oh, this is what we want to do. This is what we're. All these luxury, all these things that we don't actually need, should be the one to stop it. I think I learned that the hard way. I just felt that don't tell her. Let her just believe that we are broke. So when she asked me for money that time, she's like, we don't have money. She'd be like, I said, sir, we don't have one. She, I don't even know. So we don't have. She'd be like, oh, okay, don't worry. Go. Inside of me, I said, go. God has provided, but let her just know that it's work hard.
That's it basically, yeah? 1 to 5 years. That's it. Till next time, yeah?
Love you.
Bye guys. Please subscribe. How many times did I tell you people to? Please.
Bully them.
We'll bully them.
Bully them.
If they don't subscribe, what should we do?
No more videos. Because we are making people laugh. We are teaching people so many
Very important
subscribe.
marriage lessons. They are not subscribing. Why? Channel notification bell. You're getting it.
Yeah. Till next time, we are the Adegoye.
This is my channel. I'm the